Okay, welcome everybody. Dave Mormon here, home service business coach. I wanted to walk you through here in today's training how to actually build systems for your business. And I'll walk you through really simple 5-step process. Before I go ahead and dive in, I want to just let you know that many years back, I read the book by Michael Gerber, The E-Myth, which talks about us working on our business, not in our business. And I loved reading that book, and it really was transformational for my mindset to actually change from thinking, Dave, doing jobs, selling jobs, doing marketing, to actually, how can I build a business that can operate without the owner? Seems so intriguing to me at the time. And so went through that book, applied a lot of the concepts, and it's actually kind of the whole premise that I built my coaching program on here, Home Service Business Coach, is all around, well, we know we need to work on our business, but we don't actually have tell me how to do it. Like, what do I actually do next? And so I wanted to give you basically a simple frame here in the next 20 minutes in this training of how you can do that for your business. And then, of course, if you want to deep dive it and go all out and get access to all the systems that I've created, then obviously jump on with us and learn about what we're doing at HSBC. But yeah, let's go ahead and just get diving right in, get ready to take some notes. I've got a handful of slides here that we're going to be walking through. And systems are just so important because in a home service business, it is repeatable, right? We're going in and out of our customers' homes, offering our services, whether it's, grass cutting, window cleaning, carpet cleaning, painting, whatever it is. We're going in and out. And so a system basically happens anytime something happens more than once in your company. And you can look right here, system. I've heard it said before, if you made an acronym here, system is save yourself time, right here, time, energy, and money. So that's why we're interested in doing it. So we'll go ahead and dive into the training here with a 5-step framework. So I think the first one with systems that's really important is you want to keep it simple, okay? And so I think sometimes we get a little bit intimidated with like, oh, we have to make this thing so fancy, right? And we need to have all these checklists and processes, and we get almost too overwhelmed that we don't actually get started. I like to just make like a one-sheeter, I call it. Like, one page is good enough for a simple system, because I'll tell you, if it's not simple, it's not going to work to get implemented. I actually think if you can make something extremely simple in your business, that's when it can actually get applied. Your people can actually use that system, right? One system example is having a customer relationship management system, right? A CRM system. We personally use Jobber at our company. I think it's the most simple one to use, but there's more complex ones, right? They're more robust. They take longer to understand. It kind of grates against me when things get too complicated in business. I just want to keep things deadly simple so it can be bought in for my team. The big thing too here with simplicity is you want to have a simple time framework in your own personal calendar to actually write out these systems. For me, it was just done in the mornings, Monday to Friday, in a Starbucks early morning. My wife is a nurse. She'd go off for her shift. She'd be out the door by 5:30 in the morning. By 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock a.m., I had a 2-hour time block 5 days a week in Starbucks, same table, and I was writing out these systems for my business. So making a one-page, a one-sheeter is really the key framework I want you to have off this first slide here. And the more simple things can be, they're going to get adapted by your team. So think like point form, think straight to the point, and don't think like convoluted, long written paragraphs, because again, people's attention span, they're just not going to read them. Okay. All right. Secondly, I love this one, right? Like, Dave, where do I get started? Well, how about starting right here? Write down what you're currently doing. Okay. Right now in your business today, you're on this training with me. Great. What you're going to do after this training, write that down, right? Are you going to take lunch? Are you going to grab a coffee? Are you going to meet with the customer? Are you picking up your iPhone right here with some inbound lead requests. Write that stuff down that you're doing. I would be personally writing down every 30 minutes, write it down so that you can actually see where your time is going. Because I would wager 80% of your time right now is going to office administrative tasks, is going to sales oriented tasks, or is going to fulfillment oriented tasks, right? We tend to save a very minuscule amount of our calendar to actually go into being the CEO and actually building systems for our business. Okay. So when you're writing down what you're currently doing, you also want to be writing down what your process is for that for your business as well. Okay. So you want to have a how-to guide for each service. So let's say I have a window cleaning business. Well, is interior window cleaning different from exterior window cleaning? You tell me, is your process different? It could be for outside, you could be using a water fed pool setup, right? You could have deionized water that you're filtering through that runs to a water fed pole that has a boar's hair bristle brush on it that actually cleans the window. You're going to do that process different than you're going to actually be using a scrubber and a squeegee inside the home, right? With window cleaning, who's taking out the screens? Are you taking out the screens? Is the homeowner taking out the screens? How do you do that? Well, if you took the old iPhone, you filmed a 90-second video, how you take out a window screen, you now have that system for window cleaning. You've got to like close your eyes and think, if 100 technicians flew into my town today, how would I train them up on doing window cleaning? What would you do? That's the stuff that you want to be capturing. Okay. And a lot of window cleaning companies also cross sell gutter cleaning, and cross sell pressure washing is not uncommon. I would be doing a one sheeter for exterior window cleaning, interior window cleaning, gutter cleaning, gutter washing if you do it like gutter brightening, and then pressure washing as well. So by the time 24 hours from now rolls around, you could have a 5-page system manual playbook. This is how we do this service. This is how we do this one. So you guys get the point. Okay. Now, whatever home service business you're in, you need to have an inbound call script. Okay. Perfect little system for every time the phone rings. What are we saying? Okay. When the phone rings at our office, friendly greeting, ask the customer or the prospect how we can help them. We give them expectations for the phone call. So thank you so much for calling, Barry. Do you have about 5 minutes right now? Because what I'd love to do is get some of your basic information. And at the end of our phone call, in about 5 minutes, I'm going to be able to get you a ballpark estimate for your project. How does that sound? Perfect. Okay, let's start. Your first and last name, boom. Can you give me your address, Barry? Because I'm going to go ahead and pull it up on Google Street View right now. Make sure we're talking about the right house. Okay, perfect. And you move through the step by step by step by step, and you end up with a beautiful 5 to 7 minute inbound call script. So when I start getting phone calls today, you're not taking these calls on the fly, taking them randomly, trying to assess people and give them information when you're at the drive-through of a McDonald's. Like, no, it is systematized and it is set up. You need to build your business with the end in mind. You need to set it up properly as if this is already a $1 million window cleaning business. How would they operate? Okay. The owner would not be taking the phone call at a drive-through of a McDonald's. Okay. You need to kind of like act the part and look the part and systematize the business part before you actually arrive at that future state, if that makes sense. Okay. There's a wonderful app called Loom. It's free or like $5 to $10 a month. And you can film a lot of your screen share processes right now, right? Right now I'm on Zoom, but I'm sharing my screen, right? Simple technology that I'm using to make this training for you. Loom is the same way. Okay. So if you're on a Jobber or a House Call Pro or Market or Service Monster or Service Autopilot, I don't care the CRM you're on right now, you need to start recording how you go about and schedule a job. How do you actually send out a gutter cleaning estimate, right? Like that's originally why I fell in love in the home service space, is because you can scale a company with like unskilled labor or labor that you can train up in the course of a couple weeks. You can train up a window cleaner. Will they be the best window cleaner in the state? No, they probably won't. They definitely won't in 2 weeks. But can they be 80% competent and go into a residential home and revive the windows? 100%, and get a 5-star review? 100%. Absolutely. And so start looking at Loom to record a lot of those office administrative tasks on your CRM, right? Even so much as how you reply to an email, all these things can get systematized in your business, again, beginning with the end in mind, okay? And then the ultimate system, like I touched on, is really your time as a CEO. Writing down your personal calendar to the 30-minute time blocks is going to be huge for your own realization to say, goodness me, the value that I really bring to this business is I spend about 25 hours a week on the customer's property, cleaning the gutters or prepping the house for painting or managing my crew, right? I'm taking constant phone calls from them. You're going to start to see where your time patterns really are in your business. And then you can start to say, who do I need to hire for, right? I like to say, you only hire when it hurts, right? So some of you right now have a hurt right now in fulfillment, right? You're 25, 30 hours a week doing the thing that your company offers. It's time to hire now because that's hurting, right? If something's taking you 2 hours a week, it's not really hurting, right? Most people, it's not really hurting you 2 hours a week. It's not a big deal. It's not a big constraint on your time. Like I said, those three triangles of sales to fulfillment to office, those are really the big three we want to hire for eventually as you grow your business. And you want to identify like, hey, where's the current first pain point that I need to kind of like alleviate some pressure and I need to hire for. And like red hot tip, no one's coming into your business unless you have some basic systems created, right? You're not hiring a window cleaning technician, they're showing up and you're just winging it on the fly. You want to have a few pieces of paper of documentation to say, hey, this is how we do things around here. And me as the CEO, I've already went ahead and created this playbook. And that's why I love making these trainings for you now in Q1, because we're getting the business some steam going, because come springtime, you're going to be hiring people. You're going to be so busy. Probably most of you are not going to have the time to actually go and create this stuff. Okay. All right. Number 3, store the systems in one place. Okay. I took a screenshot right here. This is my company, Revive. We do about 75K a month. The business is running without me. It's amazing, profitable, turnkey business. Okay. It's not the biggest business in the world. It's highly optimized, and that's the way I want it. How I got it that way was I did 2 things. Okay. I hired the best people I possibly could and still am today. And 2, I went crazy on systems and I built out this systems library as you see it. So taking each department of your business this month and saying, all right, marketing. You might think you don't have marketing systems right now. You do. Do you have a business card? Cool. You have a marketing system. Do you have a nice fancy email signature? Cool. You have another marketing system. Do you have a door hanger? You have another marketing system. Okay. Do you do text outreach to your clients? Do you email your clients? Any of these things to make the phone ring and bring leads in our business, that is a marketing system. All those processes should be dropped in this marketing folder. Even your business cards, right? Take a screenshot of them so you see what they look like. Save them on Vista Printer, wherever you got them designed. Have a system for that you can go back to it and re-up on an order. It's going to make your future life easier. Again, save yourself time, energy, and money. That's what a system ultimately does. One more I'll just camp on here for you is the HR folder. I love recruiting and hiring. Going to be a little bit different for everyone in each state. However, you should have here a job advertisement for your technician position you're hiring for your office position. You should have that as well. You should have a position agreement written out, what the job is, what the technician's responsible for, how much time off they get, how much they're being paid. Very important that you have that in a position agreement. That would be another example. You'd have in an HR folder as well, an employee handbook. You should have that as well. Uniform policy. Like, again, there's hundreds and hundreds of systems that I believe most people listening to this training right now, their mind is being absolutely blown that, oh my goodness, this is the stuff I need to be working on, because I can promise you, these are the dominoes you put in place that will create a business that is bigger than just the owner operator business owner. Because yourself alone listening right now, you can maybe get this business up to 25K a month, just you doing everything, running crazy. I'm more interested in seeing you move to 50, 75, 100K months, grow this thing so it can run without you, so you can get your time back, right? For me, like if I had the option to make $300,000 profit or 200,000, like $300,000 profit with Dave doing everything, or $200,000 profit with Dave doing 10 hours a week and the team running the business, I will take the 200K all day of the week because I know how my brain works. I'm a businessman. I'm not a technician, and I want to build a system that can run without me. And if I can do that with multiple companies, I know that I'm going to be in my unique ability and I'm going to be the happiest I can be. Okay. So you've got to figure out really what you want. And I'm personally more interested in time freedom than I am in making an extra $100,000 a year. Be nice. But again, if that comes as a result of me sacrificing my time freedom, I'm going to pass on that. So I want my service business, more time for Dave, more income. Those are the big levers, and that's what I want for you to have from your business as well. So how you set this up? Google right now, Google Workspace, $17 a month. Upgrade your space, get 100 gigs, I think it is, and start building out your systems library. This is what we do with our members in inside HSBC. Is one of our first modules is building out your Google Workspace because it is just so important. And all these folders are absolutely loaded with systems, which makes me really happy. All right, 2 more slides for you. Number 4, let your team help. Okay, this shouldn't fall on your shoulders. If you're like most home service business owners, you're naturally not very analytical or process driven. And that's no disrespect to you. It's just a lot of you find yourself in the pressure washing niche because you were good with the pressure washer and neighbors and friends started calling you and you started making a business out of it, right? That may have been your story. And that's totally good. You got to own it. But you also need to know that systems will set you free in your business, and you need to enroll the help of your team to actually get help from those doing the job because they can share their insights, and this will ensure better chance of system implementation. Okay, so I'll share an example with this. You want to ask your main technician, let's say you have an employee helping you right now, let's say you have one employee, start to ask that employee what they find their best process is for gutter cleaning or for window cleaning or for taping windows to prepare the house for painting or to clean out the paint sprayer, right? Whatever it is, you've got to find that out. For me, when I had my previous painting business, I brought my lead painter over to my condo, brewed up some coffee, sat him down 3 hours. I said, tell me everything you are currently doing with painting. Like I want to know it to like you roll into the minute. What's that process? And I took pages and pages of notes, and that helped me relaunch my painting division, which we now have inside of Revive. And so like good leaders are great listeners. You need to stop saying you have the best way for the process, and you need to enroll your team and actually get some of their input to help you. Okay. So we'll take a quick pause. Put in the chat, give me a number 1 digit if you're getting value from this, as this is a live training. I want to see some ones going on if you're getting value. So let me know that in the comments, please. A couple ways to help get your team helping is taking before and after pictures. Okay. A lot of you work in trades that have like visually gratifying visual satisfaction for the services you're doing. Okay. You can see right here, one of our technicians is soft washing a home in the picture. We want before and after pictures of that. We certainly haven't got them on all of our projects. We want to get better with that. So we roll up dirty house, take 4 pictures, left, right, front, back. And then once we're done washing the house, front, back, left, right. We have then drop it into our drive, pictures, before and after pictures of our job site. Those are like marketing gold mines for your marketing team. And I think we sometimes miss getting pictures because we don't have someone in marketing saying, we need those pictures. We're the business owner running the marketing, and we kind of just like forget about it and let it go because we're busy. Okay. So before and after pictures is a great, simple process that your team can help with. That helps with fulfillment and also moves over to the marketing department to generate more business. Okay. Another one is happy calls. Okay. What is a happy call? A happy call is when you finish the service, we're done here washing the house, that a representative from Revive will phone the customer and follow up and make sure that Mr. Smith or Mrs. Smith is happy with our service and give us any feedback to make it better for next time. It gives our customers a chance to us to hear them out, and for us to get better. Okay. So Dave, the owner, doesn't need to make those calls. Those are done from our office team that reaches out and makes those phone calls. So for me to design out a happy call script and say, this is what you have to say, it's not going to be the best bet. I'm going to want to meet with my office team and say, what are you guys saying on the phone? What tends to work the best? What is like the best opener that you find? And I'm going to listen, and we're going to help make a one sheeter for a happy call, so that I know in 3 years, when our office team has grown or we have different people in the office, they're going to be able to follow that script. Okay. And then another one is just we use a software called Slack to communicate internally with our team. Every single time we get a Google review, our office manager jumps on our GMB page, replies to the review, screenshots that review, posts it inside our Slack channel in a channel called #5stars, and tags the technicians that got the review. Not only do they each get $10 and my office manager gets $5 for each review, we get to celebrate it as a team. We get to read those reviews at a team meeting, and we get to start embedding that more in our culture, saying, hey, Revive is a company that really cares about their customers, and we're going to celebrate those Google reviews. We're going to celebrate those dopamine hits, and we're going to pay our team members for them. That's how much we love to do it. So those are like 3 really simple ways you can enroll your team to help them create systems with you, so that it's not like, oh my goodness, it's all on your shoulder as the boss, as the CEO, as the business owner. This doesn't excuse you from building systems, but I think it can create a bit more of like a fun collaborative project. Because the last thing I'll say is that when my team members have helped create systems for my business, they tend to get adapted better than if Dave just went ahead and made it and said, like, here, guys, follow this way, because you want to get it right from the people in the field. And there's this quote that people are very loyal to things they help create. I believe they're very loyal to the company when they help create it, and it's created with systems. So just know that, yes, they're helping, but they're also buying in with their loyalty, which I think is like pretty cool. So that's the fourth point, is to let your team help you create the systems. Excuse me. All right, last point here is revise, revise, revise. Okay. I don't want to come across this training and say, hey, once you've systematized your business, you're good. Like, cruise off in the sunset with a margarita in your hand, right? I've been building systems now, like pretty hardcore, for 7 years now. And I can tell you, like, you're never done building a system to work on the business, right? Even my coaching program, I've revised it now like 6 times, because every single 6 to 12 months, I'm like, this can be better. This can be better. This can be better. This is like a 7 out of 10. I want it at a 10 out of 10. And you're constantly tinkering and changing. And that's why I'm just such an advocate of the business owner not being bogged down by the day-to-day processes of the company, but actually jumping in a helicopter, going to 30,000 feet and saying, cool, if I'm not the one responsible for recruiting, for hiring, for doing the fulfillment, for doing the selling, for doing the office work, what are the actual things holding back my business? And when you can like free yourself from the mental clutter of the day to day to go deal with Bill Smith and go meet with this employee and pick up this check and go and cancel this job and go do this and go do that, you got no time to actually ascend in that helicopter and think strategically at 30,000 feet about the business. And so I want to encourage you, as you look at your company this year, just get started with those initial baby steps, because I've worked with hundreds of business owners now that have said, man, I was scared of systems and now I'm like addicted to it, right? I'm obsessed with it. It's become fun. Every element of my business, I want to create a process around it. And that's just how I've now trained my brain to move from this like helter skelter state of chaos, respond to everything on the iPhone, and now just say, hey, I'm actually in control, more in control of my time. And so a quote I want to leave you with is that your business will not, it won't rise to the level of your expectations. It's going to default, it's going to fall to the level of the systems that you've created. So if you got systems and they're all in your head, everything's going to default in your company to calling Bill, the business owner, to solve every problem. But if you've created like a playbook and a manual, and you've got someone in charge of that process instead of the business owner, phone calls, concerns, problems will start flowing to different people in your company. And that was like a key skill set I had to learn. I was a really good manager. I thought I was a pretty good manager, but the skills of managing versus leading are different, right? Managing is like, let's make sure everyone shows up on time. They're wearing their uniforms. We're doing good work. Customers are happy. Like billable hours are good. We're making good money. That's what a manager does, right? A leader actually has a manager running the day to day, doing all those things I just said. And the leader's coaching that manager saying, hey, what are you seeing can be better? How do you think you can get better in your game? How can me as a leader support you better? And those are the best entrepreneurs in the world. They are strong leaders and coaches. They are not managers. They have a great management team in place. And that's something I've always really strived to do the last few years in my entrepreneurial journey is build great managers who can help revise the systems. And so, yeah, I think we'll probably leave it there for today's training. But go ahead, leave me a comment if this was of good value to you, because I am planning to do a few more of them. And I do want to just offer you too, as we close up here, I'm going to be no shame about it here. I do have a high level coaching program. It is a 9-month coaching program where we hold your hand to put in all these hundreds of systems into your business and get them implemented. And the great part is I've already went ahead and built all these systems and white labeled them so you can just grab them for your business and then get our help from our team of coaches to actually implement them into your business. So if that sounds of any attraction to you, scan the QR code right here. It'll land you to a landing page. You can get on a 20-minute phone call with Landon, who's our growth advisor. He can give you a spin around the program, show you what we're doing, and just see if it's a good fit. But I will tell you, this program is not cheap. It's $1,500 a month to be eligible for our program. So again, it's not for everybody. I offer a ton of free stuff out to the whole universe with Home Service Business Coach. But we do work with a select few people who say, I want to save 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and I'm willing to part with some money to do that. We'll hold your hand and help you do this in your company. So if you want to learn more, go ahead and check that out. But I want to just thank you so much, those of you who followed all the way to the end here. We did go a little bit long. Feel free to share this out in a Facebook group if you found value here, as I do these for free. And again, just thank you so much for watching, and happy systematizing with your business. I hope that you pulled out a gold nugget today. We'll chat soon, everybody.